Hello everyone and welcome to DIY Gift Bag. So what we are going to do today is we are going to make two different kinds of gift bags. One is going to be with the paper that is included in your kit, and one is going to be with some wrapping paper that is included in your kit. So the first one that I'm going to do with you guys is the one with paper. You're going to want to make sure that your pieces are square. The ones that were in your kit, they should be completely square. But if you do this again with any other paper that you have at home, you just want to make sure that it's an even square, just for measuring purposes. So the first thing that you're going to do with your pieces of paper is you are going to measure out where we're going to be making all the folds. To do this, you can either mark it with a pencil, or as long as you've got a ruler handy, just kind of keep that there while you're making the folds. That way you don't have to go in and erase any lines. So if you are using the same size paper that's included in your kit, so you guys have a 6x6 sheet of paper here, you're going to make the measurements, and this is all depending on what you want to put in the bag as well. But in order for us to have a little bit of a base on the bag, the measurements for this are 1.5 inches on 3 of the sides, and then the top side is only going to be 1 inch. So again, that's 1.5 for 3 sides and 1 inch for the very top. And you're going to do that on both sheets of paper. If you are etching that out with a pencil, yours will look similar to this. I don't know, you can see the lines pretty well. So that is what mine looks like. Again, you don't have to use a pencil. You can, if you're going to eyeball it, just be careful that both of your sheets are the same sizes, because they will need to be. Otherwise, you can just have your ruler handy and start folding with that while you're doing it. So mine, I liked marking it. That way I know it's exactly that 1.5 on 3 sides and the 1 inch on top. Once you have that, or if you've got your ruler handy, then what you're going to do is you're going to fold. So I'm going to fold in on these marks because I want this design to be on the outside of my bag. I want that to be the main color. This inside, mine is white, but I did that because it goes with the pattern that I had on front. If you're using something at home, you're either going to want the white side to match what's on the front, so you don't want something super dark and then white. Otherwise, you're going to want a design on both sides because both sides are going to show in points of the bag. So I'm going to go ahead and just start folding. I'm going to keep an eye on where my marks were. Probably would have been a little bit easier if I did the marks on the outside, but I didn't want the marks to show. So once I have that, get that nice and folded. If you want it to have a really, really tight crease, you can either use a ruler if you're using a ruler, or if you've got like a credit card or debit card, you can use that to smooth it out. So you're going to do that for all the sides. So I'm going to go ahead and go around and do that for the rest of mine. And this is, just so you guys know, the more complicated of the two bags. Wanted to get these instructions with you first. The other one is a lot more customizable, but it's not as sturdy as this one. This one's very sturdy because of using the actual like scrapbooking type paper, whereas the other one we're just going to be using gift wrap, and gift wrap is a little bit flimsy. Still works great, and it's great because you can make it in different sizes. This one's just nicer because it's a little bit sturdier. So I'm going through and folding all of these edges. And if you guys enjoy our craft programs, I know we've got at least one more coming up this month. It was looking pretty full, so if you haven't signed up yet, there is a wait list though, so if anyone cancels, you'd be able to get in on that. And it is our Pinterest. If you don't attend or haven't attended one of our Pinterest programs, it is once a month, and every month is a new craft. And with all of our craft programs right now, since we can't do them in person, they come with supply kits. And those kits should supply you with at least the big parts of the craft so that you have like the most essential items for it. So I've got one sheet done. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do my other sheet here. And then after we get all these folds done, there's just a couple of cuts. So you'll want to make sure that you have some scissors on hand. And there's a little bit of gluing. So whatever kind of glue you have at home, glue stick would probably work well. Quick drying glues are great. Craft glue would work just fine. I'm going to use hot glue just because it's fast and it'll work best, just because I'm trying to film this whole process. So I don't want to have it dry for a while and then have to come back to it. So if you want something quick and you have it at home, you can go right ahead and use hot glue. But any kind of glue should work just fine for this because we're working with paper. Oh, so anyway, that Pinterest program, get back to that real quick. This month, we are painting a little wooden block so that it says snow. And then the O on that block is going to be a cute little snowman head. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, you can register online or give us a quick phone call. And you can get signed up for that as well. Any of you book lovers out there, our January Pinterest craft is going to be a book page wreath. So I'm excited for that one. I think it'll look super cute. Okay, so I have both of my sheets that are completely folded now. Your top sides, the sides that are just a little bit smaller, you're going to keep those at the top, and you're actually going to take that fold and flip it the other direction now. This is where that opposite color is going to come through. So once I fold it like that, then I'm going to go ahead and do that regular fold one more time. Got that. All right, so your paper should look like this now. You still have all your folds. We just have that top. This is just going to be the cute little, the flap at the top of the bag. I'm going to do that on both of these. So we'll flip that out. If you marked yours with pencil and you see a little bit, you can just go back in with an eraser. Mine's not bad, so I'm not going to worry about it right now. If it bugs me, I might go back at the end of the video to do it. Okay. So we've got both of ours. Now what you're going to do, and it doesn't matter whichever one, but one's going to be your inside and one's going to be your outside when it comes to overlapping and connecting them. So what you're going to do is on one sheet, you're going to cut out the full square corners from those folds. So see how the fold here made a square? You're going to cut that whole square out on this side and on this side. So I'm going to do that real quick, show you guys. Alright, so I've got the first square and the second square here. So one is going to look like this. The other one, what we're going to do is we're going to take the two sides and we're going to cut down the sides. Everything else is going to stay intact. We're not cutting it off. I'm just going to cut down these two sides here. I'm going to go ahead and do that. With the fold being there, it's going to give us these two little like flaps on the edge. There we go. So then we've got those little flaps there. Now we're going to put it all together. So this is kind of the easy part. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take this one with the cut edges, and I am going to glue it to the bottom here. So I'm going to just go ahead and put my glue on. There we go. And just line it up so that it all matches. Be careful if you're using hot glue. That was a little hot. All right, so now we've got them connected. So the next thing that's going to happen is the sides are going to come up. We want to fold those so that they stay up for us. And then you're going to take whichever side is going to be your outer edge, and you're going to put glue on those sides. And then you're just going to fold it up and in. And I'll show you real quick how we do this. So this is going to be my outer side. So I've got some glue there, a little bit of glue there. You don't need a lot because it's just paper that we're working with. And we're going to just fold this up, and glue's on the outsides. We're just going to press down. Feels pretty good. And you'll see here, we've got, you know, a nice little bag going on. On the inside, since I pressed those down, I'm just going to fold them back up. If you want, you can use a little bit of glue to keep them up. Actually, mine are kind of flopping down a little bit, so I think I might do that. Just add a little drop. Okay. And you'll just press it up against the side. Sorry, I went away from the video a second there. And then I'm going to glue this other one. Got that there. The only bad thing about hot glue is all the strings it leaves behind. And then you can do the same with these flaps up here. If they're flapping a little bit, just glue them down a little bit. Okay, that one. Ooh, that was a lot of glue. Didn't need that much. Okay. And there we have it. That is our first gift bag. If you want to add some nice little handles to it, what you can do is you can either cut some holes into the bag for that, or you can just glue ribbon onto the inside of it. Really, if you just wanted like in the corners. I do have a hole punch handy, so I'm going to go ahead and put a couple holes in this so that it looks like a bag that you get from like the store. And I'm just eyeballing where those are going. There we go. So I've got my holes there. And then I'm just going to have, you can use pipe cleaners, you can use ribbon, whatever you have at home that you have handy. You don't have to have a handle on this either. If you just want to tuck some tissue paper in there with whatever gift you're giving, that'll look really cute without any kind of handle. So I'm just going to cut a couple pieces of ribbon real quick. Don't need to be super long because it's a tiny gift bag. This would be good for like a piece of jewelry or just some little candies. Or if you've got like a cat or someone who likes cats and you're giving them like little cat toys, that can fit pretty well in this little bag here. I'm just going to knot this up. There we go. Got one little handle here. Then I'm going to make one more and we will have a finished gift bag. Now, like I was mentioning before, we can alter this so that it's bigger. So like if you have a 12 by 12 sheet of scrapbooking paper at home that you would like to use, well, you'll need two. You can adjust the sizes. You're just going to edit your sizes based on the size of the paper. So for this one, since we did 1.5 inches on 3 sides and 1 inch at the top for a 6-inch piece of paper, for a 12-inch piece of paper, you would want to make sure that you have 3 inches on 3 sides and then 2 inches at the top. And then you're still going to get the same look. It'll just be bigger. So that is our first gift bag. Nice, cute little bag. Like I said, this would be a great size for something small. A piece of jewelry, candies, little things. Or if you've got like a tiny toy or something for a child. All great things that could go in this nice little gift bag. So that is bag number 1. Bag number 2 is much, much simpler. It's just a little more flimsy. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab the wrapping paper. Now, the size that we included with yours, I just used what we had on hand. I didn't cut myself a new one just because I didn't want to waste paper. But the size that you have in yours, it should be enough to make a bag a little bit bigger than this, but probably about the same size. Both the bags that you're making today are small ones, just to give you the idea of how to make them. And they're useful for nice little small gifts too. The second sheet of paper, the wrapping paper, what we're going to do is you're going to take the part that is going to be the top of your bag, and you are going to crease it, fold it down so that you have a nice smooth top that you're going to work with. So I've got that. Then you're going to take something in your house that is box shaped, and that is either the same size or bigger than the gift that you want to put inside the bag. So if you have the gift with you and you want to work around it, that is perfect. If you want your bag to be a little bit bigger than the gift so that you can put some tissue paper in there too, then you'll want a box that's bigger. So for me, I am just going to use this nice little book here, and I'm going to make it so that the book fits exactly in the bag. So what we're going to do is, once we have the gift that you're giving, so I've got this book, we are going to match the top with the top. If you want a little room, give a little room. If you were going to put like some filler or tissue paper up top. So I'll give it a little bit of room so that I could do that if I wanted to. And then what you're going to do is you're going to wrap the paper around your box or your square item. So we've got one side here. And then I'm going to trim my paper because it's a little bit big. And if yours is bigger than your box, go right ahead and trim it. I like the papers that have these squares on the back. It makes wrapping so much easier. So we got that. You're gonna bring your other side over. And if you want, you can try to match the cutoff here with the corner of your box. That's what I'm doing. I'm rotating my paper just a little bit. And once that is matched up, you are going to need some tape. Sorry for not mentioning that earlier. It should be on your list of things to have handy while we're doing this craft. But this is where you're going to need that tape. So I'm going to put a little piece of tape. Mine isn't clear. Yours doesn't have to be. Doesn't have to be perfect. I just wanted you guys to be able to see it a little bit better, so I used the translucent but not the clear. So I've got a little piece that I'm going to put up towards the very top. And then I'm going to put another piece more towards the bottom. You can use as much or as little tape as you'd like. If you want to make sure this isn't going anywhere, tape the whole side if you want. Okay, so once I have that, I am going to trim up the bottom here a little bit because we're going to be doing some folding and we don't want a lot of excess on that. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm just going to trim this up to about here. Probably still have more than I need, but it's a lot. Yeah, I'm going to go a little bit more. The best way to measure this is if you push down and then you give yourself a little corner on the inside here. Let me turn this around so you can see it. A little corner on the inside. That's how much paper you're really going to need. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trim all the way down to that now. And there are some hacks to make this a little bit sturdier. Just because it's so nice that this is so custom. It can be any size when you're using gift paper. So I'll tell you those hacks after we finish this up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do like before. We're going to fold it down, but now that ends at the bottom of my box, which is what we want. It can be a little bit bigger. A little bit bigger is not a big deal. You'll just have a little bit of overlapping, which actually makes it a little sturdier. And then what we are going to do is we are going to take that corner and we're going to fold that in so that we're left with another triangle down here. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Some of you guys might wrap your presents this way. I know when I started following these instructions, I was like, this just sounds like I'm wrapping a box. And that's because essentially that's what we're doing. We're only doing it on one side. And then after we have this, we're going to bring our bottom up. If you want to fold your bottom so that it's smooth, or if you want to trim it or anything, you can, but this is the bottom of the bag, so I don't think anyone's going to look at it, so I'm not going to care about mine. I think it's just fine. So once we have that all wrapped up, we're going to go ahead and tape it again. So I used a nice long piece of tape this time, just so that I didn't have to do multiple takes of that. So now we have the bottom of our bag is all ready to go. And you'll see this basically is just if we would have wrapped the book. It's super nice and tight, so it fits perfectly. You can just put it right back in here. I say that, and then I might have done it a little too tight. Oh, almost. There we go. Okay. Now mine, I have a little bit of space up at the top, just because in case I wanted to use some fillers. I do want to throw some handles on this one too. And you can on these, which is super nice. I'm going to do the same thing I did with the other bag, just use a hole punch. And I'm just going to eyeball it again. Do that on both sides. Now I did say earlier that there's some hacks if you want this to be sturdier for you. And that would be to take some cardboard. So if you had some things shipped to you, those boxes are perfect for this. And what you'll do is you'll trim those boxes so that you have cardboard that you can put between the layers here when we folded this down. And then also a piece that you can lay at the bottom down here. So if you take your gift out and you place it in the bottom, that is going to give you a much sturdier bag, and then you're still able to have this awesome custom size. So get back to my ribbon. And I'm going to do the exact same thing I did on the other one. Just going to string it through both sides. And I'm going to just make one knot here at the bottom. And you can make your handles any way you want. If you've got some nice ribbon or pipe cleaners or anything else that would make a good handle, you can do that. So there we go. I got one nice side there. I'm going to do this side over here. Okay, there we go. Now I have a nice little perfect size gift bag for a book. I can put a little bit of filler up top if I want, make it look super professional. And that is it. These are your two different types of DIY gift bags. Do it yourself with just some gift wrap or some paper that you have at home. Super easy, great for those weird size gifts where you can't quite match it to the right bag. And they turn out really cute because you can use whatever paper colors that you have that you like too. Sometimes people like certain things that you can't find on gift wrap, and then you can make it yourself, and then you're gonna have some amazed friends and family. I hope you guys had a lot of fun, and I hope you have some wonderful gift bags to use. If you'd like to send us some pictures of your final gift bags, we would love to see them. You'll just send those to programs@shorewoodtroylibrary.org, and we will see you next time. Stay safe.